everybody, I'm the Pigglesworth, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Along with Piggy. Now we're starting out back over here in the minor town, just checking out the inn. Sweet. So no longer do we have to worry about messing with times and messing up our days and everything. We have a proper and official place to go to sleep when it's nighttime. Now what I'm thinking about doing, come here you, somewhere in here, I'm not quite sure how I want to do it yet. Might have to do it off the backside because make it like a little secret little basement. But I'm thinking about coming up with some kind of a command block setup where I can push a button and it will progress the sun, and that way I can control where the sun is in the sky so that I can do my intro shots like the one you just saw. What I had to do is jump in that bed and sleep real quick, then jump in game mode 3 so I could fly around and hope that I got the sun at the right position. But so that way we can get those intro shots looking really nice and snazzy. We might have to do that. Might have to put another command block setup. Oh, and we do have some coal ore. Awesome. So I'm grabbing some coal ore. I'm over here. We're actually getting coal ore. See, you thought I would never need this mechanism. I actually do. We need coal ore. I also realized I'm going to need some more wood because I don't have enough. We're going to need to make sticks because we're going to need to make torches. A ton of torches. Not an actual ton. I don't think I would weigh them and find out if they weighed a ton. You know what? Spruce wood, you're coming with us. That sounds good to me. And I think... oh no, that's Silk Touch. Okay, that's Fortune. Okay, that'll work. We'll take that. And we got 2 buckets so we can make an infinite water source. So, we're going to go this way. So like in the last episode, I told you guys this was going to be a little bit of a different episode from what we've been doing. We're going to take a break from working on the minor town. I still have a few more builds that I've actually designed that I want to put there for certain, but we're going to take just a little bit of a break because I have been doing something off camera. Now, not a whole bunch, but I have been doing something off camera, and I figured I would make an episode about it. Now, I've seen people make different episodes about this, and they usually do crazy time lapses and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's like old hat. Y'all have seen that. You've seen people do that stuff. And I wanted to come up with a different way where I could include this in an episode, but at the same time, do something a little bit different. Maybe a little educational. Yeah, maybe we can do some experiments and kind of find out what's going on. So, in this season, we are trying to conquer all the mega mobs. And one of the mega mobs is in an ocean temple, an ocean monument. And so what we're going to need to do is conquer that ocean monument and turn it into a factory to make stuff for us eventually. So check this out. You know what I'm up to, don't you? Some of you do. Look at this. Haven't done a whole lot, but I have been at work. This is kind of like off-camera stuff. When I'm rendering a video or I'm in between clips and I can't film, I'll run over here and start doing this. We're trying to collect a whole bunch of sand. 1, so that we can make glass, because I keep running out of sand for glass. And 2, so that we can get ourselves some blocks that are affected by gravity so we can remove all the water from the ocean monument. Check this out. This is the craziest desert. Now, for those of y'all who've been fans, who've been around for a long time, you've seen in Season 1, I think I made my way over here. But look at this. Will the render distance let me do it? So over there, we have a pyramid. And over there, we have a pyramid. And I think right over in that general vicinity, there's another pyramid. It's crazy. It's like Pyramid Central over here. It's like Egypt. But what I've been doing is clearing out this desert, collecting a bunch of stuff. And when this chest gets full, we make a couple of trips back. And then this is just a bunch of leftover stuff. We're going to dump all this leftover junk right here. Got a little bit of stuff here. Just keep things separate so it's a lot easier. Now, what I've seen a lot of people do is they will take a shovel with efficiency 5 and they will just go crazy and they will dig up all the sand. Son, why you do this? Because Piggy don't plan. That's what's going on. But they will just dig up all the sand. So I wanted to see if I could come up with a different way, a different method to get rid of sand. Let's see if I can show you this real quick. I went ahead and put up all my stuff, didn't I? Yeah, it's not going to work so good. I think by the way that hole looks down there, some of y'all might be able to figure out what I'm up to. That can stay here. We'll take a water bucket just for explanation purposes. So what I've got here, I've got a that's got efficiency 4 on it. Wow, that needs to get upped. I need to get that up to efficiency 5. So what I've been doing is going through here and digging out a too high spot. Just like this, okay? And I'm, a fairly decent area. I'm just doing this for demonstration so we can do it real quick. Then once that is cleared out, I'm just coming through and busting up the solid blocks, and I'm letting the torches break the sand for me. Now what I want to know, is this method quicker? Now I know running around with a shovel is definitely quicker because you don't have all this prep work and you don't have all this stuff that you're having to mess with. Oh, Piggy, what are you doing, buddy? We don't have any torches right there. So see, the torches break that. And then once we have got this an area collected, you put down buckets of water and it washes up all the torches for you. And then you can recycle. You're good to go for round 2 or round 10 or 100, however many rounds you actually... Oh, look, that's kind of creepy, but kind of cool at the same time. So that is the idea, is to try and mine out an area, fill it with torches, and then clear it out. Like I said, just a shovel, I'm pretty sure you're going to clear this area quicker. But the cool thing about doing this method is I am going to be collecting sand, and I'm going to be collecting a bunch of other blocks, because, you're going to eventually need stone for builds. I haven't really figured out what to do with sandstone yet, but I bet we're eventually going to need it for something. So it'd be nice, if we're going to do all this mining, let's go ahead and make it a proper collection of materials. So what I want to know is it quicker to dig with a shovel and then just dig everything out with a pickaxe? Or is it quicker the method that I just did? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep digging a little bit here, but we're going to cut to a different clip. We're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to go into a creative world. I have set up some tests, and we are going to do some testing to see if we can definitively answer, is this worth our time, or is this more of a headache than we know? So I'm going to sleep. Hopefully we'll get snuck upon by a creeper. I'm going to meet you over in that creative world so we can do some testing, and then we'll come back here and see how much sand that we've collected. So I will meet you in the creative world momentarily. You stinking monsters, get out of here. Whoops. Hello everybody, and welcome to Piggles Labs. Here at Piggles Labs, we strive very... Who am I kidding? I'm not that sophisticated. I just try not to mess everything up so we can make sure that we get the test done right. Yeah. So here's what we have. We have our test chamber that I have built. All this was done in creative. Since we're doing testing, I'm not too worried about doing creative for this. Basically what we've got going on, we'll break the seal to the room, is I have some chests here. These are so that we can put items in as we collect if our inventory gets full. And we have some torches available to us, a water bucket, a diamond pickaxe with efficiency 5, and a shovel with efficiency 5, okay? Now, underneath this area, I have a, I can't remember what they call it. It's some kind of a block that you can save a build, and I can reset it, and it's going to reset the sand chamber right in here. Now, the way this sand chamber is constructed is just like this. I have 2 layers of stone, a layer of sandstone, and then 5 layers of sand. And so what this is going to do is give me a something that mimics what would be going on in the desert. And I just chose this configuration because stone takes the longest to mine out. Sandstone is a little bit quicker, and then sand. Actually, I don't even think I chose it that way. It's just those are the mix of things that are there. And I did the 2 layers and then that instead of randomizing it just so it was a little bit easier to measure. And then we have our special laser that gives us superpowers. Whoop! So that laser gives us haste. So we're going to test this in 2 scenarios. We're going to test it without haste, and we're going to test it with haste, just so we can get an idea of what our options are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to now switch to using the replay mod so that I can film and speed up me testing this. And while that's going on, I'll do a little narration. So we're just going to kind of fade to that right now. Okay, so in the upper left-hand corner, we have our regular method using an efficiency 5 shovel and an efficiency 5 pick with no beacon. And in the bottom right-hand corner, I used a beacon where I turned on both sets of haste so we can get the fastest mining possible. And we can see that haste did not affect either shovel. It only affects the pickaxe. So having a beacon to speed up your shovel is pointless. It's not going to help. But we can see that in the bottom right-hand corner with the beacon, I mean, we just blew through that. Look at that, in less than 5 minutes. Dancing around and just having a good time because there's nothing else to do. Meanwhile, in the upper left-hand corner, just keep digging away and digging away and digging away. Now, I did 2 other versions of this, and I'll show them in just a moment. We're going to watch that upper left-hand for just a second, see how long that takes. But I did another version where I'm going to use my technique both with and without a beacon, just to see what that does. And the second version, I don't use depth strider boots, so there that went. So this is using my version where we're going to try and take out the bottom layer and use torches. So the bottom right hand you can see has a beacon because we just blew right through the stone. The upper left hand is without a beacon. Now you notice in both of these versions I'm not wearing boots. No boots at all. Because I wanted to try and see different versions of what goes on. The bottom right, we're just finally getting to the point where we're breaking the sandstone. And we're going to go ahead and dump all our material. Sorry. Now, the main goal of this is we have to completely empty the chamber. So using the buckets with the water to collect those torches, I figured, everything has to be collected. Whatever we're using, the main goal is to empty out a certain area. So that was what I was aiming for. But I didn't use depth strider in here because I wanted to see what would happen when we didn't use depth strider. And we can see that without the beacon, is still taking quite some time. Finally getting to where we're busting up the sandstone, unloading our inventory, and now we're going through and using buckets. And this takes a little while because with no depth strider, you're having to fight the water currents. Now here's the final version. The bottom right hand is just using an efficiency pick and shovel with a beacon. And the upper left hand is using the technique that I'm testing with depth strider boots, efficiency 5 shovel and pickaxe, and a beacon turned on. And it's kind of interesting what ends up happening. Just plowing through there. There we go. Finally getting to it. But the bottom right hand is getting really, really close. I don't know about this. We got the buckets. We're going. We're collecting. Oh! Wow. Craziness. All right, so after all the testing, and I put the different times on screen, and I had them on screen with the time lapse, yeah, but we're going to kind of go over these real quick. So just doing the efficiency pick shovel with no beacon is a 9 minute and 37 second time, and adding the beacon knocked it down to 4 minutes and 58 seconds. Now with the beacon, that was the best time. That was the quickest time. So now using the torch technique without a beacon and with no boots was the longest time at 10 minutes and 23 seconds. Now adding a beacon into the mix knocked it down to 5 minutes and 27 seconds, which was still about 30 seconds longer than just straight up knocking it down with a beacon, just straight strip mining with a beacon. Now adding the boots shaved off another 10 seconds. It got us down to 5 minutes and 17 seconds, which is about 20 seconds longer than just with the shovel and the pick and the beacon. So let's go over here and shut off our laser. Pew! Because we don't need people getting burned. And apparently we have proven with science and no sound at all, we have proven that just getting an efficiency 5 pick, an efficiency 5 shovel, and having a beacon with double haste set up, just straight up digging and hacking away with your pickaxe is going to be the fastest method. So torches, come here torches, where are you? You guys, come here. Piggy thought he had a cool method, but you're not needed. you get out of here. Straight up just digging with a beacon, that's the way to go. So that's what we're going to have to do to clear out that desert. So I'm going to meet you back over at the desert so that I can show you what I've been up to over there. All right, everybody. We're over here. We've been hacking away. Look at that. We got a big open empty spot. Yep. Let me show you this. See all this mess going on? We have got ourselves a little redstone setup going on. So we're just going to dump some stuff in here. This is stuff that we've been excavating. And so the idea here is, let's get away from the noisemaker. The idea here is that I'm going to use this hopper distribution thingy. I don't even have a name for it. I don't know what you would call it. But basically what it's doing is it lets me dump a whole bunch of my inventory into that double chest. And it's going to spit it out into an ice water stream. A really nice ice water stream. And it's going to let it flow all the way over to here. Hop over here. And it's going to an item elevator. Now, earlier I had this set up without that distribution module. I would throw a bunch of stacks of stuff, and the problem is that the stacks of stuff would get right here, and then they would just get stuck. They would just kind of sit there, and I didn't want them to despawn. So I set up that little thing so it kind of regulates the speed at which items go into the water stream so that this doesn't get backed up. But what this is going to allow me to do is I can be mining, and I'm going to extend branches of this as I work on areas. I will move this this water chute. It only takes like maybe 5 minutes or so to dig it up, dig another trench, set it back up, and I'm good to go. And so I can just dig and dig and dig as long as my pickaxe and my shovel lasts. Dump some stuff in there and let it send it over here. And after a while, when I have to make a run to repair my pick and my shovel, I'll just come over here. We'll get a bunch of the items out of here. Look at that. We got almost, what is that, about 4 double chests worth of junk, so we can make some trips to empty that out. Then we can just keep going. So that's going to cut down a little bit on the time for moving about. So Piggy didn't come up with a good method for strip mining, but he did come up with at least a somewhat sane approach of moving items without all the running. So we're going to save time somewhere, darn it. We're going to figure out how to save time. But let's come over here and look, because we have got an insane amount of desert that we need to remove. I've pretty much decided that this desert is going to be the desert that gets destroyed. I'm not too worried about keeping it. I don't have too many. And you pigs, you're just going to have to relocate, guys, because all this is going away. And I'm just going to keep running out here to show you the extensiveness of this desert. I mean, can you imagine running from all the way over there to all the way over there just to get rid of our items? No, it'll be easier if we do that little travel system. But this is going to be today's episode. Like I said, a little bit different than we normally do. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to take pictures of what method do you use to empty out a desert. And then I want you to send one to me on Twitter, so I can tweet it out and show everybody else. What's the methods that are used to eradicate and eviscerate the desert? Now, I don't have a beacon. I don't even have... Ooh, there's a village over there. Let's go check out the village. I don't think I've raided this either. Let's go check. We might have been over here before. Have we? I can't tell. Let's find out. But what I want you to do is send that to me, and then I'm going to send it out for everybody else to see. Yes, apparently, we have already been here before. This must be something that we visited way back in season 1 off camera and just completely forgot about it. But let's go check out the villagers. See if there's any decent villagers over here. But yeah, send me those pictures of how you get all your sand. I'm going to tweet them out so everybody else can see it. And we're going to have to figure out how to get ourselves where you think you're going. Oh, it's another Mr. Toolsmith. 17 coal. You might be worth keeping. I might have to leave this area and come back so that this chunk stays unloaded. And more pork chops. You, buddy. You and your uncle over in town, y'all think that pork chops are all that. We're going to have a talk. But I'm going to go back over here because I got to figure out how in the world are we going to get a beacon? How in the world are we going to start killing withers? I've tried. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do. But I'm going to get to planning out next episode, figuring out what in the world we're going to do. I'm going to empty out this desert, probably off camera because that gets boring. I might stop by every once in a while just to check in. You get me those pictures, you send them to me on Twitter so we can all see how each of us empty out deserts. And I'm going to make the long trek back to the portal. And I'll see you in the next episode.